Here we go. Welcome to our Finding Hope and Building Your Rescue Me Kit class. I'm Deb White, and I have loved oil since 2009 and couldn't figure out how to live without them. And with us today, we have a special guest. This is Brenda Patru, and Brenda is the brains behind this Rescue Me Kit concept. And so I'm so excited to have the originator here with us to help teach this wonderful concept, this wonderful class, and you're going to leave with the ability to make this tool for yourself. Brenda is an amazing oil aficionado. She has added her love to oils with so much education and knowledge that she puts together in such a fun, delightful way. She's a chicken owner and she's a little mega farmer, little mini farmer. And so it's just so fun to see her out there on a training call feeding the chickens. And that's what it's so fun to be involved in doTERRA, because you can be a doTERRA chicken lady and it works. So we are so happy to have you, Brenda. Say hello to everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And it is true. And that's probably been one of the funnest things. And I'm pretty sure it was Megan that got us into chickens because she got my parents into it. And then I was like, well, maybe this would be, maybe I could do this too. And now I am the chicken lady. So it's pretty fun. Yeah, this is great. So we're excited to just have things moving along and have the opportunity now to talk to you a little bit about finding hope with natural solutions. And so we're going to be talking about some specific things that you can do to support your body and that of your loved ones when their health is threatened. We're going to give you information and knowledge of things that you can do to support your body in staying well. And we're also going to talk about how to support the body during different phases of illness in case you weren't able to stay well for whatever reason. So we're going to cover some important steps to take, some things that you can prepare with, some natural solution for optimum immune system design. So you are definitely going to want to be taking some notes as we go through this. Now, our bodies, oh, Deb, are you sharing the presentation?
I am furiously pushing buttons to make that happen.
Okay,
as you sit through the presentation, we will be sending you a lot of information afterwards and a link where most of this is stored. So don't panic if something happened. We'll send you the recording if you wanted to re-listen to a piece of it, or if you needed to get the information. We'll have all that in one consolidated location. Thank you to Brenda. And so you'll be able to catch anything you might have missed.
Perfect. All right, I'm working on getting the view the way I need it. Okay, so we are, oh, hang on one second. Go ahead and flip over to the next slide because that's where I am. And then I'm going to, I wanted to be able to do this on this screen, but I can't see the, yeah, okay. I'm just going to do it blind. So you'll be switching the screens and I won't be able to see anything. So you'll have to manage the chat as well. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Our bodies were designed to heal. So this is really an important thing. And you probably already know this, but many of the problems that we're seeing in the world today can be resolved by the body if it's an optimum condition. However, most of our bodies are not prepared for the current threat that has been ravaging the nations, even if we were perfectly healthy prior to its arrival. So what we're going to be discussing during this class is how you can prepare the terrain of your body. And I'm going to invite you at the end to join us to learn more about how we can support the battle and recovery from such attacks. So, hi, my name is Brenda Patru. You guys just met me from, I was introduced by Deb. I'm a wellness advocate. I'm a mom and stepmom to 8 grown children. I do love animals. I've been fascinated with health and natural healing for most of my life. For myself, I was not really a healthy child. I was diagnosed with CFS in my early 20s, and I've had to adjust and change and learn to manage my very, very full life. So this is a small assortment of my family. We are a family who likes to spend time together on the boat. I did not grow up boating. This was something that I learned to appreciate and enjoy in my second marriage. And I put this little collage together because apparently we've never had a family picture taken in front of the boat. Actually, we have since then, but it was like a major family picture, a whole huge family reunion. right? But you might be asking, okay, what does this have to do with finding hope and natural solutions? And I'm going to tell you it's everything, because do you see these kiddos having fun? This is brought to you and made possible by health. All the fun in your life is also made possible by good health. So we're going to continue with the analogy with a description of the bilge system. So this is the system in the boat. It keeps the water from filling up the boat while you're out playing. Now, if you're a boater, you already know all this stuff, but sometimes if you're not, then you have to learn it like I did. Sometimes water comes in from waves, sharp turns. It always comes in on wet, drippy kids after they're done with a wakeboard or a tube ride. And where does all that water go? Right? It drips through the carpet into a channel at the bottom of the boat, and it's taken to an area where the bilge pump then removes it from the boat. And when it's working properly, it runs without you really knowing. It keeps everything dry, dry enough, right? So you don't have to stop the fun. And it has a mechanism, which is the bilge pump, that has to be working in order. If it doesn't work, then you're not having fun, right? Now, sometimes you do possibly get into a situation where you have a lot of water in your boat for whatever reason. Maybe you had a big wave that came over and you have to bail maybe for a little bit with the bucket. And if the bilge pump isn't working for whatever reason, if it stops working, then this has to be done. And it also has to be done if really, really big waves enter the boat. And it has to be done really quickly. And you have to be able to get to safety quickly if the bilge pump has stopped working. Otherwise, you end up in a situation, at the very minimum, the fun is over. And in severe instances, of course, it can be really, really dangerous. So on this next slide, I do remember hearing this poem in Sunday school as a little girl. All the water in the world, however hard it tried, could never sink the smallest ship unless it gets inside. This is true, right? This is also true for our bodies. We live in a toxic world, and our bodies are doing a darn good job considering all that they're up against. They've had to change and evolve over the years as we've been subject to more and more pollutants and toxins in our world, in our personal care products, right? Even our cleaning products, our laundry carpets, our building materials, all of these things have toxins in them. They're giving off these toxins. Our bodies are constantly working like that bilge pump to keep the bad stuff from becoming overwhelming. Now, our bodies have many types of bacteria and viruses in them all the time. So what happens if something gets a stronghold? That's when it becomes a problem, right? So the little water in the boat from waves or kids dripping, no big deal. Bilge system again is made for that, and it keeps running and the fun keeps going on. The problem is when it becomes overwhelming. It's too much. Just like this ship, when our bodies get polluted, our personal bilge system, so to speak, cannot keep up. Now you're in a bailout situation, and sometimes the solutions are very confusing or ineffective, and sometimes both. Now, so what we're going to be talking about is this is where we're going to go, right? We're going to slow down the things that your bilge system has to deal with. We're going to give you a little bit of information of how to give that pump a little bit of a tune up, and then what to do when you are in a bailout situation with natural solutions so you can go. So even though I had been an unhealthy child and was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome as a young woman, and even though I went through a lot of stress over the next several years, marriage, kids, business failure, bankruptcy, divorce, foreclosure, remarriage, stepkids, absolute mass chaos. When I learned about doTERRA and the natural solutions that were available to me and my family, I started to get well. And then for more than 10 years, I had a very few instances where we had a health situation that I couldn't solve on my own with these amazing tools for my family. And I got my bilge system working and the fun went on. But then, stuff happened. 2020 hit us all, and the types of things that we're being bombarded with, and all the accompanying new kinds of stresses, societies, stresses, all the things. There's so much for us to deal with. And so here is the good news in all of this. Humans have been evolving for thousands of years or more. And so there is hope. And my goal for you in this class is for you to be able to go into the future confidently in the direction of your dreams, whether that dream is getting better health, bailing out of your current situation, tuning up your bilge system, or whether that dream is living in a loving and peaceful world. We can get through this. We will get through this, and we are getting through it already. We're strong and resilient, and our bodies want to live. They want to heal. So what we're going to share with you are the things that I've done, what I am doing, and the way that I've put it together that has not just only helped me and my family, but also as others, many others as well. And we're gonna just get really, really specific. And I do want to actually publicly thank Krista Joy Palmer and Rich Rayland for combining so much of this information that's going to be contained in the resource that you'll be getting an email of. So now we just start off with the hack, right? And is this one still me? I do the hack, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, remember those bacteria and viruses? They are everywhere and they're even inside of us all the time. They're not new. They have not suddenly started attacking us. I love how one man described this as a phishing scam, right? You get the email, it says, here's the information you've been waiting for. Then it's actually a lie. And when you click on the link, that pathogen is actually able to get a stronghold in your body. Now, different viruses and bacteria behave in different ways. So we're not going to talk about anything that's specific, but they also behave in very similar ways. So we are, it does happen from time to time that you get hacked and you need a way to support your body in fighting back. So that's what we're going to hop into. Let's dig in.
So we're going to talk about these 5 phases, and mostly we're going to focus on phase 1 and 2, the preparation and the attack. And there are many changes or phases to threats that come into our bodies, and they behave in similar ways. So we're going to cover things that you can do to prepare your body to be able to fight better. After all, the water in the world doesn't have the power to sink a ship unless it gets inside. So we're focusing on that. And so in phase 1 and phase 2, there's information in the resource touching briefly on the natural solutions that will support you during phase 3 and 4 as well. And so I'll tell you how to access that information about these resources, and you can learn more and become the healer in your home. So the areas of focus that we're going to look at is diet and exercise, mental resiliency, supplements, essential oils, and monitoring. So you know about where you're at. It's like you're going on a trip. You have to know where you're starting to put in your GPS in your phone so you can go where you want to go. So phase 1, we all know about exercise. Regular exercise is a key to good health. And I don't need to tell you about the benefits. You can feel it going, I know you've heard it. It's going in one ear, going out the other. But if it's already part of your life, keep it up. If not, start slowly to be more active. I have a goal on my daily checklist for movement. So I'm not specifically going to grind myself through a CrossFit class every day, but I'm going to make sure that there's movement. So start being more aware of moving. Maybe just park the car at the end of the parking lot. And just be careful if you're starting out not to injure yourself. I think that's what happens a lot in January. Everybody goes to the gym and they work out so hard that they can't get off the toilet because their leg muscles are so sore. And that's not going to be, they're not going to want to go back. But just think about it as taking care of your body so that it can take care of you. So it's really a matter of being a good steward and loving yourself and helping your body be ready to take on whatever.
Okay, and there are a lot of studies that have shown that vitamins and trace minerals can support the immune system by strengthening those epithelial barriers and the cellular and humoral immune responses. Now, this is great news because remember, our bodies were designed to heal and stay well. And when we have the proper tools for them to work with, they can.
So vitamin C, we've heard about that forever. And we know that it boosts our immune system. There's a lot of different ways to get it in our foods. Look at the picture. Did any of these foods surprise you that they have vitamin C, like maybe the garlic? But I know a lot of people who swear by garlic when they're sick, and you can kind of smell when they're getting over something. But it's good. It's good for you. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and if you feel like you're not getting enough of the vitamin C, it's really easy to get. And maybe this isn't your favorite supplement, but even so, it can be very effective, even the simplest of vitamin C. And maybe you have one that you like even better because it's a pure source or whatever. But it's easy to supplement with vitamin C. It's easy to find, easy to keep on hand, and easy to get for your family.
Vitamin D is another. So we're going through the alphabet here. We got vitamin C, now we got vitamin D, and it's the best place to get vitamin D is the sun. Now that's tricky to do in the wintertime. And that's why a lot of doctors have said wintertime is cold and flu season because it's reduced sun. It's a vitamin D deficiency season. And so if you live in a place where you don't get a lot of sun, then you're probably going to need to supplement. So just be looking for supplements that are very pure and don't have anything else in them that might harm you. And talk with your doctor about what levels your vitamin D might be at so that you can figure out how to boost it with your diet and with maybe supplements. So look at the foods here that have vitamin D in it and see if you can get in the sun, even in the winter, if you can expose your head and your neck and spend a little bit of time outside, even in the winter, bundle up and keep that exposed, it'll help. And the movement combined, perfect.
Okay, zinc. This is another one. It's a really power supporter of the cells. In fact, studies show that zinc is the hero for early treatments done by doctors, having the 99% success rate in the current threat. However, zinc has a really hard time getting on the inside of the cells. And so, one thing that we have added, and I think it's on the next slide, is actually quercetin. The quercetin actually opens up the cell and allows that zinc to get into it. And so if you're looking for a natural way to do that, this is what you want to do is with the quercetin. And the studies are very, very good on this. And it's very helpful. And this has always been one, even when I was a little girl, my mom always had me take extra zinc whenever we had a cold or anything like it.
doTERRA came out with that amazing combination product, and maybe this is brand new for you, but it's the On Guard chewable tablets, and it's On Guard Plus because it has both the vitamin C in it, and it has the vitamin D in it, and it has the zinc for your daily supplement support. So if you're currently depleted in your level, it won't be enough to build you back up. You'll need to do a little bit more, but it's supportive to keep you at the levels you need to be. So this is kind of not preparing to be sick, but this is preparing to stay well. And by adding these three components, vitamin C, D, and zinc, with some On Guard, and it's chewable. And there you have to, if you haven't tried them yet, I find it happier to suck it for just a little minute so it softens up before I chew it. And it tastes good. So it's kind of a fun way to be healthy. Take care of you.
I love it. Now, another amazing product that doTERRA has, and it's also our top selling product, is our Lifelong Vitality. And this is for sure my favorite doTERRA product. More people have gotten off prescription and over the counter drugs with Lifelong Vitality than any other product that doTERRA offers. And here's what it does. It helps reduce pain and inflammation. It gives us more energy, helps us with mood, reduces feelings of stress, helps people sleep better. And guess what? It also contains quercetin. So there you have it. You're going to be taking the zinc the other way, and you'll get the quercetin right here. Now, doTERRA feels so strongly about this product that they do give a full money back guarantee, even if you've used all of it. So if after 30 days you don't have less pain, more energy, better mood, less stress, or better sleep, you can simply return those empty bottles and get your money back. It's a no risk deal. And I always start with Lifelong Vitality as a foundation because this helps your cells to have the nutrition that they need to perform optimally or to get back to performing optimally if they haven't been doing that.
And look at all the foods that are in Lifelong Vitality. You don't eat that many foods in a day, but you'll get it in that product. Love it. Love it. We talk about it in every topic. So gut health. Scientists are finally realizing how crucial it is that our gut be healthy because it has such a big impact on our immune system. So gut health requires having probiotics that creates that healthy microbiome. That just means all the healthy little bacteria that are in your intestines that keep everything running well. And so it's really important in phase one, if you're going to be primed to be able to be as well as possible when any threats come towards you, is to have a good probiotic. And this one is PB Assist, wonderful product that doTERRA has. It has a delivery system so that the happy, healthy bacteria doesn't open up in your stomach and get eaten up by your stomach acid. It goes all the way down to the intestines where it really needs to be. And you can look at the foods here in this picture that will help also create good, healthy probiotics in your body. And that's fermented foods of any kind, yogurts. And I think, Brenda, is that chocolate?
Yes, it's dark chocolate.
Okay, so there you go. You heard it from the specialist.
There you go. All right, and then let's also talk about enzymes, digestive enzymes. As digestive support, they're phenomenal, but also they have the wonderful ability to support the cleaning of the body when taken on an empty stomach. These little scavengers find their way to old undigested food particles that maybe got deposited somewhere when there weren't enough digestive enzymes on board to get that job completely done. So if that happens, then the food was broken down to a certain point, it wasn't able to complete. The body put it somewhere where it wouldn't cause too much immediate trouble until it got enough digestive enzymes to be able to handle that. However, over time, these things can add up and they cause a lot of trouble after all. So you can see the power of keeping your bilge system healthy by giving your body these important tools to support the full digestion of your food and the elimination of waste. It's a fascinating process, and you definitely want to have that extra support for you as well.
So that's one that we've taken before we eat or on an empty stomach for that system. Love it. And it's also helped with some of our family members that have trouble with lactose intolerance. So just it doesn't cure it, but if they know they're going to a birthday party, they'll pop a couple of these before the cake and ice cream part, and it makes things a lot better. So keep that in mind if
Love
that's
it.
something you deal with. So we're talking about the gut. Let's talk about mental health. And this is interesting. 80% of your serotonin your body makes, and you do have to make it. It's produced, 80% of that is produced in your gut. So we need that serotonin for good mental health, for good sleep, and it's produced in the gut. And it's so critical. So these nutrition and exercise parts that we just covered are key to your mental health. And the adaptive line we love because it's a whole system that works on your nervous system from the inside and the outside. And it really helps people who have struggled with depressed or anxious feelings. And we've talked about that in one of our wellness education series classes on mood and sleep. And it's just so great. If this is something that you're concerned about, please consider trying this as a system and see how that works, because your mental health and physical health are greatly influenced by the things that you believe and think about. This blend is called the Mind Wellness Blend. And if you haven't recently taken an inventory of some of the things you believe, now could be a really good time, brand new year, to become more mindful and observant of what thoughts you're thinking and how those thoughts might be affecting your emotions, affecting your quality of life, your cortisol levels, and your physical well-being. So nutrition and exercise are key to supporting that mental health. And in the past 2.5, 3 years, it's been very stressful, very divisive, broken relationships, differences in beliefs, and even beliefs about what's caused the problems that we're having that's building up stress in our system. And we don't need that. We can choose different thoughts and have our minds think of different things to become part of the solution by helping others regain their hope as well as your own and their faith, and begin to create more opportunities to hold our own families and loved ones close and trust that there is a way out of problems and it is good. So this one is super powerful for your mind wellness, which is so beneficial in the whole situation of girding up our loins and having our armor for any threats that come our way.
Yes, and there are a lot of free resources that are available also to help to support the mind. You are literally capable of changing your mind. It is called neuroplasticity, and you can change your state of being instantly when you have the power to control of your thoughts. It does take practice. And a great way to begin doing this is just to do something simple like using a meditation app, or even a simple 6-minute meditation with essential oils, which we included in the resource that you'll be receiving, to help you to change your mood, your mind, and your emotions so that you can move past a situation. I cannot stress this part enough for navigating the discomfort that you're feeling in your life right now. And even something as simple as putting wild orange in the diffuser is enough to begin this change.
I love that word neuroplasticity. It sounds like, I don't know, like silly putty or something. Like my brain is like stuck. I can shape it and mold it. That's good news. That's really good news. So if you haven't been doing healthy things, you might be kind of overwhelmed by all this. And so if you look about all we're talking about and things to implement it, we want to have you try thinking about parts that you could start with. And in order for the oils and supplements to be effective, they need to be part of your daily routine. So you want to start thinking, you know, of your supplements that you're taking, the things that you're adding when you eat. Deep Blue, if you're going to start your movement. We got our snowmobile stuck on Saturday and had to dig it out. And boy, am I Deep Blue in my shoulders. So Deep Blue to help that, so that I don't say I'm never going snowmobiling again. Maybe I'll just never go in 10-foot deep snow powder again, but Deep Blue. So keep that in mind, because you're not going to work out if it hurts too much. And a trick
No,
that
it's true.
kids, they're extreme athletes. And the trick that they have tried is they put Deep Blue on before an activity they know is going to be really strenuous, and their recovery time has been crazy good, and they don't suffer the soreness. So if I'd known I was going to get the snowmobile stuck, I would have put Deep Blue on my shoulders before we left. But you know, when you know it's coming, prepare.
Sometimes you can guess, right? If you're
Yeah.
going snowmobiling, you can guess.
Yeah.
This is another piece that we've offered. So this is we've created this list of daily habits and how to implement them right from the start. Now, this is just a suggestion, but we made it with check boxes and everything, right? So that you can tune up that bilge system, so to speak, and allow your body to handle many of the threats that you're facing each day. A lot of them you might not even know that are threatening you. So I made it super, super simple for you. I even put the check boxes in. You put it in a sheet protector, laminate it, or check it off every day as you implement these habits into your life. Or rewrite, you know, with those specific things that you want to do this. But as you do this, and then you attend the wellness education classes, and then you're going to learn more about how to use these natural solutions tools, so that when you feel a little off, maybe your head hurts a little, your throat hurts a little, it's a little scratchy or whatever, you know exactly what to do. You know that that is the time to act. And because you have natural solutions, you can act, because there's no side effects, there's no addictions. This means you can notice a small problem and take action right away. Just give a little bit more support to your body so it can go on doing its amazing thing.
On this call, just put a little note in the chat. Have had an aroma touch. Just put in there, hey, yes, I have one. Would love one. Because we want to get that information to whoever lives close to you that knows how to give one, so that everybody can have the blessing of an aroma touch. This is a go-to that we have used in our family for all sorts of illness, mental anxiety, concern, emotional upset. It has been fabulous. It's phenomenal for reducing stress, supporting your immune system, and then brings your body back into a balance, so that you're not fight or flight or I don't care. You can be just in the middle. It kind of resets you. And there's just so many stories of healing that people have received by getting an aroma touch. And if this is something that intrigues you, that really drew me in. I started my doTERRA account, and they had a training a month later, and I was so drawn to being able to do this for my family. And I have learned this and used this on family, friends, anybody who wants to feel better. And we have hands-on workshops occasionally that you can come try that out. But there's a beautiful online training program now that you can learn this technique and then bless your family with it. I've done this technique on everything from a 3-week-old baby to my 94-year-old mom. And this has been an amazing gift to know how to do this, but it's a gift to get it. So if you have not had one, let us know so we can make sure that somebody gives you one.
Nicole says she loves to give them, and so you should come see her.
Who does? Me? Oh, I do.
Nicole in the chat. Nicole said it in the chat too.
Awesome. Okay. So
yeah,
close to Nicole. Go see her, because this is the interesting thing about, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the interesting thing about the aroma touch. I love it when somebody asks me for one, because all the meridians on your hands will be absorbing and taking in all the oil that you're putting on your loved one or your friend. And so you get blessed at the same time. So giving an aroma touch is a pleasure and a joy and a gift to me, as well as the person receiving it. So never feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to impose. Oh no, you're giving them a blessing by asking them to give you an aroma touch. And what I tell you, it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one. You'll want more.
Oh my gosh, truth. All right. Okay. We have covered diet and exercise, mental resiliency, supplements, and essential oils. And we've been talking about preparing for a very long time. And the reason we spent so much time here is because we want to give that most attention to the preparing for wellness. So, the last piece of this phase is to know your numbers and empower yourself with the tools. So, go ahead and get these tools into your home that we're going to show you on the next slide, because they're really simple. They're easy to get from your local or online drugstore, and they're easy to learn how to use. It's a really good idea to be aware of what normal is for you and your loved ones. Remember, what we give attention to grows. So we want to approach this not to look for something wrong, not for purposes of constant monitoring and being like, oh my gosh, am I sick yet? But instead to get that baseline so that you know by more than just how you feel that something is happening, and you'll have those tools in your natural solutions kit and be able to address it before it gets out of hand. Now, I should mention the spirometer, which we have pictured here, is not a monitoring tool. It's actually a tool to help you breathe into the lower lobes of your lungs. But get it while you're getting things, because you definitely want to have this one on hand if you start having an issue with the lungs. And if you have you might actually, we've had a lot of people that have actually found one in their home when they were going through stuff, because one time grandma was in the hospital with pneumonia or whatever. So clean it really well. And if you have a lot of people in the house, you might want to have more than one. But when you need this, it is actually a really wonderful tool to have. And so you definitely want to make sure that you have one on hand. And in case you don't know how to use it because it's not intuitive, it is not obvious, we've included also a video in the resource that will teach you how to use it so that you are getting those lower lobes open in your lungs.
And the reason we even mention that is that can be one of the reasons that you end up in the hospital, is the breathing problems. So if you can take care of those at home and prevent going to the hospital, that's all the better. So that's what that one's for, real good prevention. Okay, phase 2, the attack. Now this is when it won for temporarily, despite all your efforts. Sometimes the attack, the threat is bigger than you are. And so the fishing hack worked and you feel crummy and it's time to bail out your bilge.
Right. So when you're under a heavy attack, so you've got bigger symptoms, they haven't really responded maybe to your healthy habits, and you don't want to be working out hard or doing strenuous activity, because when you exercise, your body goes through a process of breakdown and repair. And if you're already needing all of your resources to be at the battlefront, then you don't want to create more problems right there, right? But you do want to move your body enough to help pump the lymph, which is your body's avenue for trash takeout. You want to keep your muscles from getting stiff. You want to keep your lungs clear and open. So deep breathing, gentle stretching, going up and down stairs at least once a day, all these things, if you're in a intense attack, this is going to be your friend even while you're under that attack.
Even when you don't want to move.
Right.
And I think Heavenly Father really understood, because he makes you have to go pee. So you got to get up and walk.
Right. And fluids, right?
Yeah. A lot of fluids. Yeah. So that's our wake up call. So when you're under attack, you're really not feeling well and your body really wants gentle food. And so that means, don't eat a lot of processed things or a lot of things that are hard to digest. Go with something really simple. And the old grandma logic of chicken noodle soup, there's a point to that. That broth is awesome to help you get well. And during this time when you're just not feeling well, it might be hard to get all your supplements during that time, but just do the best you can, because you really think of them as building blocks and little armies that you're sending into your body to help fight the attack. So just do the best you can. You can rely on your oils to support you while you're in this battle. But having a chicken in the freezer at all times is great, because no matter how sick you are, you can throw it in a crock pot and just put some spices and water, and it can cook long-term during the day, and you'll have some great soup at the end of the day.
And it doesn't matter. You can pick the bones out. It's all good.
Oh yeah, just throw the whole thing in frozen and just let it do. Don't think. And then just scoop around it. Good point. And grocery delivery. I mean, who lives in this magical world where they bring groceries to your house? Do that when you're not feeling well. Don't be in the house with nothing good to eat, and be able to just get something nutritious to you. But when Brenda, tell about when you guys were sick. You were so pathetic. It was so sad.
We were really pathetic. It was awful, but we did, and my brother was here too, and he was down in the basement, and we were on the top floor, and literally could text each other. We could get down maybe one flight of stairs, but not all of that. But it was, it was just crazy. For sure. But yeah, we put that chicken in the crock pot. I threw a few new potatoes in with it. And I was so grateful that we had those, those few things. And one of the things that I found that I love in chicken noodle soup, and this is like how I make it anyway. By the way, that was chicken soup. Nobody was making noodles for me. Okay. Like that was not happening. It was
So
just
good.
chicken. I threw in some potatoes and an onion, right? But I also put in some thyme essential oil. I put that in at the end. Just a drop for the whole pot is enough, and it's really good, but it also is so healing for your lungs. And if you don't put it in at the beginning when it's boiling all the time, if you just add it at the end, then it's going to still have that therapeutic benefit. So it was really, really a great thing. And we ate that. I literally, for probably 3 days, I just kept going back down and dishing up another bowl.
That's all I mean, that was plenty of nutrition for you and
Yep.
so easy. So get a chicken, throw it in the freezer and just leave it. That's your emergency chicken.
Right. Right. Rotate it every once in a
Well,
while.
yeah, that's true. You probably should cook it now. But just have one in there and don't plan it like part of your menus. Now,
Right. Right.
the zippers, Brenda, I want you to talk about zippers because I think
Yeah. Zippers.
you
This
invented
is
them.
another great way. It's simple, a really simple way to get support while pushing fluids. It's a good idea to have a few of them made up in your resource kit, in your Rescue Me kit, so that it's going to help you through the first few days if you're hit with something really big. And yes, we do have the recipes for that in the resource, and you just literally dump them into a jar of. And if you don't want ice because it's the wrong time of year for ice, you can just put it in plain water, or you can. We even have some people who do them in warm water as a soothing
Can you guys see my
warm drink.
zipper right here? It's like even matches
Yes,
the shirt. I'm so impressed. I didn't even think about
right.
that. It's always on my desk. That's because of you,
Sure.
Brenda. Thank you.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
So when got very, very sick and Brenda got very, very sick, it was really interesting how my brain couldn't think and
Mhm.
the reduction in the ability to think through things. And so these are some of the oils that could really support that when you're going through this. Um, when you start feeling brain fog, or it's like you just can't work through the problem. So think about adaptive. We talked about that with the wellness, the mind wellness. Melissa is awesome. Balance and bergamot or bergamot. Which way do you say it? I put
I
the
say
T.
both. Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard it both. I've heard it both ways, and I actually am interchangeable on that. So yeah.
Okay. Because I know ballet, you don't say the T, and so then I sometimes bergamot it. But anyway, these are really important oils to remember during this time, and really try to be kind to yourself. Practice that kindness. Your body is trying really hard to fight this illness. So use your thoughts and turn them towards support and loving kindness. And if you can meditate, you don't have to, but if you can, that's awesome. But just filling your thoughts with gratitude and what you're learning from this experience of being sick. I know that sounds crazy, but there are things that come up that if you'll be focused and aware of that, you can be just like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that before. You want to really avoid thoughts of fear or lack or that you're in danger, just keeping your thoughts in a place that you're safe and you can trust your body. It knows what to do and you have the tools to help it heal. And you can trust in God that there are no mistakes and you can move through this experience and you will come through it and that you will be stronger for it. That's sometimes hard to remember, but these oils can really help that part of it, that piece of healing.
Okay, so you're going to be gathering up the things that you need for your Rescue Me kit. And if you've been with us for a while, then you might find that you already have a lot of the items that you need for this on hand. Now, for those of you who are new or newish, you can, I actually in the resource have created different ways of like, if you want to do an immediate assembly kit, this is what you need for it. Or if it's cost prohibitive to do an immediate assembly kit, then I created a path. So you can get this month, and you can get this month, and then you can just like keep going through until you have all the things. So it's super, super flexible, and you don't have to use any of my ideas. You can figure this out because because you can. But these are the things, that we've talked about that are going to be super supportive to you. And you guys get to be able to be the ones to decide what's going to be best for you and how to move forward. And you don't have to put it in a bucket, but we thought it was super cute because of the bailout thing. But you can use a shoebox. You can use any container that it will fit in. And when you get ready to assemble all of it, then you'll have that. But the beauty of it is that it has the instructions included in the resources. And then you also have some videos in our private Facebook group that show you exactly what to do with it as well.
So after people have used the Rescue Me kit, here's some of the text that Brenda got in response to that. Thank
Which
you.
is so fun. It was like absolute miracles. Your magic pills, right? Did the trick.
Oh, and
Yeah.
It's wonderful to realize that you helped them.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? I mean, it just feels so good when you know someone's struggling. And this next slide is a video that I made shortly after I made my Rescue Me kit. So it tells you kind of my story.
Hi, this is Deb, and I wanted to share with you how I tackled a recent bout with a virus. And I have this great friend, Brenda, who said after I'd laid in bed for almost 10 hours, not moving, how about the Rescue Me kit? I was like, Rescue Me kit. So she sent me the directions. Now I have one right here. And I am going to tell you how this helped me. I was feeling so badly that I wasn't doing anything to take care of me, and neither was my husband. He was just check in and say, do you need anything? And I was so sick that I couldn't think, do I need anything? And it was about 5 o'clock at night that I realized I had done nothing all day to help me get better. And I know this stuff. I'm an oil lady. I'm an herb lady. And I hadn't done anything because I felt so crummy. So the Rescue Me kit was a savior. But I realized the power of it was in having it prepared ahead of time, because I didn't have all of this stuff together in a cute little bucket. This is a paint bucket from Lowe's. I was going to get an ice cream bucket, but then I'd feel obligated to eat all the ice cream, so I'd have the bucket. So I did it this way. Anyway, have a party, get your bucket. But being able to really hit specific problems, I knew that I had some pathogen of some sort, and I was having a little trouble with my throat was sore and my head was pounding, and I needed some support. And being able to have this with the list inside it, I could get my husband to take over because he wasn't sick, and he could fill the diffuser for me and take care of these things. So it was just really exciting to be able to go through my list, take my oils, take my supplements, and feel better.
Something I want to add to that is this was for me. Since then, I've had several friends who've gotten very sick and they needed help. And it was so easy. One was at like 10:15 at night. She texted me and told me how sick she was. And I kind of had an idea what she might have. And I said, I'm coming over. I'll be there in just 5 minutes. So let me in or leave the door unlocked. And I took her my Rescue Me kit. And I had the instructions on what she needed to do. And there it was. And I dropped it off. So I didn't have to get exposed myself to whatever fun thing she was playing with. Just give her my Rescue Me kit with directions, and then she could call me if she had any questions. And she lived alone, so she kind of had to take over, but she was not knowing what to do. And within just a few days, she was great. Then the Rescue Me kit went to her daughter's house where her little grandson was sick. I've had 2 other of my kids get sick, and I could just say, here you go. Here it is, all here with the directions. So I was just excited that I could use it in my home, but then it was a really easy way to bless other people when they're sick.
Yeah. And to have the instructions already there. And that was another big thing that, the feedback that we got from other people who tried it was like,
this is Deb, and
we
I
were-
wanted to share with you.
we were we were too dumb to know what to do, right? This is the feedback that I got. We were too dumb to know what to do. So it was awesome to have it on a paper, because like, what do we do? Look at the paper, right? See, okay,
Yeah.
we can still read, right? Like we can figure this out.
Somebody
So-
gets well enough to read.
It was good. Yeah. Another wonderful resource that we've used for many situations is the Symphony of the Cells book. And this book focuses on systems of the body and oils that will support them. And the method that they recommend of applying the oils is on the spine and the head and the feet. But because I am a busy mom and I don't always have time to do the spine, that requires another person, right? I came up with this idea of taking the application of all the different oils that they use for a particular thing and putting it into little tiny bottles in a keychain. So it's super, super simple. And so this is how I designed the Rescue Me resource. I included the ID application, which is one of the ones we got from the Symphony of the Cells, and I put it in the little bottles, and then you can do it on the bottoms of your feet. And sometimes, like if I'm super sick, I'll do it on the bottom of one foot because it's enough. But sometimes my other foot's like, I want some too, so then I'll do two. But there have been so many moms who have reached out to me to say this was nearly all they needed for their littles when things were coming on, because I don't know why, but kids are really, really responsive very quickly. Their bodies are young and everything just like, they don't need as much oil. They don't need as much stuff, right? They don't need as many of the supplements or any of that stuff. And so even if kids are coming down with stuff, I have one mom in particular, and she's like, she just puts it on it the minute they have the sniffles or anything, and they just are done. And it's fantastic. It's such a fantastic resource. And we did also, on the next slide, the other protocol that I took was the neurological. And this is because so many people have experienced such a significant amount of brain fog. And for me also, this one actually was born from my skiing accident where I had a concussion, and my poor head, I was like so dumb. Like I knew stuff, but I couldn't figure out where it was. But this was like really phenomenal to be able to have that neurological. I actually still have it in my purse. And occasionally when I still lose a word, which I still do occasionally, I will grab that out and just put it right on the base of my head, right there on the back of my neck, and just give that neurological goodness to my brain so that I can kind of overcome those things. And so both of those have proven to be really helpful, but the whole book is amazing. And if you have other things that you're dealing with, you could just make a keychain for anything you would like.
It is very handy, and I love the keychain idea. Some of the protocols have 10 oils, and you can get keychain on Amazon that holds 10, because the doTERRA ones, at least the ones I've seen, Brenda, they only hold 8.
Yeah.
So I went on to Amazon and got some there very affordably, and they hold all 10 oils. So if you want to do that, I love having my little kits, and I have loaned the kit to people too, just the little keychain to people.
So great, and such an easy thing. And when you're busy mom, busy person, it's easy. It's so good.
It is.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about brain fog, the new line of doTERRA's MetaPower is just, it's amazing. And it brings support to all the things that we've been talking about today. But if you look here, all the things that are addressed by this system, the MetaPower system, it is amazing. We have a class on the whole, going into it in more detail, but just do some looking at what this product line does. It has collagen, it has special combinations of oils, it has a product that helps with sugar spikes so that you can keep your insulin levels and it's a wonderful product line. So we can talk about that in more detail, but it is here and it is wonderful. Here's what some of the people have said who have been using it. I can work longer, I get more done. That's what's been for me, is I can get more done in a case of a day. I can kneel down again. I'm over 70. This is not me. This is a quote from someone else, and haven't been kneeling down for a while. I don't feel like an old man anymore. Okay, you would have guessed it was not me if I kept reading. Okay.
Yep. Can I already be noticing this? My energy is steadier. I had a big day yesterday, but I was able to go grocery shopping at 9 o'clock last night without feeling terrible. My thinking is clearer. I just got more writing done in an hour than I'm usually able to accomplish. And that was after just like a day on this stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I slept better than I have in years after only one dose. I need this in my life.
I love it so much. Down 9 pounds in 2 weeks with 8.5 inches lost, 2.5 for my muffin top alone, 1% less body fat, more energy, more alive, more vibrant, more mental clarity, better sleep, and my skin looks brighter and has more elasticity.
So cool. Okay, we can't
Good
keep talking,
stuff.
but it's so cool. Just saying, gotta try it. Okay, so we're gonna breeze right through phase 3. So this is after the worst of it has happened and you're calming the storm. So here's where things aren't quite as bad. You're feeling a little bit better. And this is when you have to be careful and not stoke the fire and create a bigger storm, which is, I think, what I did the whole month of December, because I'd have a day or two where I felt pretty good. And my husband's a professional Santa and I'm his Claus. And so I'd be like, I think I'm good. And then I'd jump in and do it all and I'd be down in bed again the next day. So this is what this is talking about, is calming things down, lowering the inflammation so your body doesn't go crazy trying to take care of the situation that you're in.
Yeah. So the first thing that you want to do during this period, and it feels anti whatever they call that. I just love that
Counterintuitive.
word.
Counterintuitive.
Counterintuitive. Yes, it feels counterintuitive. So you're going to stop using those hot oils that we've been using to support the body as it's been inflaming, because that's part of the process of the body. The reason it makes a fever and it gets, creates this inflammation is because it's trying to kill those bad guys. But now we need to calm that down. So we're going to stop with the On Guard, anything with peppermint in it. We're going to stop with the oregano, any oils that are inflammatory or that are coagulating. We want to do this. And the signpost for knowing that when you're at this point is the presenting symptoms have subsided. So maybe your temperature is normal, your throat doesn't hurt very much, or whatever was presenting at first has changed. And you've learned to listen to the signals and that your body is sending you, then you'll be able to discern this time and switch to the calming, soothing products that will support. And this will help to support the immune system, to stop swinging that battle axe at anything that moves and begin to recover and rebuild and heal. And it's really important so you don't have the immune system start working against you, getting really overzealous and getting those cytokines really working quickly and continuing to fight, which will then start to attack the organs instead of fighting the enemy. So slowing down on those hot oils. Then what do you use instead? Because this is the part that I know, because it's counterintuitive, right? We always use On Guard when we're sick and we use it until we're better. But in this case, it could be smarter to move to some of these calming and rebuilding oils. And so you can see we have a list of this here, and we do include this also in the resource. You don't have to, you can grab a screenshot, but you don't have to write all these down really quickly. But you're looking at things like frankincense and myrrh and turmeric and neroli and fennel, also really, really helpful for your alveoli, by the way, fennel and the bergamot. And the eucalyptus, cardamom, copaiba, and omega fatty acids. So these are going to help you to keep that proper blood thickness, to keep the physical calming, to keep the inflammation going down and allow your body to continue to heal with that. And this, I can't say enough about, this is the stuff that the research done by Krista Joy Palmer and Rich Wayland. This was really, really powerful and life-saving in cases because they were able to stop using those hotter oils and move to that more anti-inflammatory and support to rebuild.
So these two products are really great for calming the system, turmeric and copaiba. And turmeric is amazing the way doTERRA has packaged it, because it gives you both the benefits of the powdered and the oil. So you've got the curcuminoids and the turmerones combined in this capsule. So it's kind of cute. I think it's kind of sexy because it's got the solid yellow and then the oil around it. So this is a really great one. Also copaiba in the soft gel. So they both are available that way for that phase. We're just glazing through 3 and 4, just so you get an idea.
Yep. And so then as we come to the end of the cycle, it's time to strengthen and rebuild. And what's amazing and fantastic about this is that it's very much like phase 1. So if you slow down on your supplements, you want to start them up again. And the only reason you would have slowed down is if you were having just excessive stomach issues with it and were not able to keep them down. And in fact, I even like to take a double dose for 2 weeks after having been through a sickness, just to help myself get back to normal. And then I've continued with the double dose of the Z Omega for a month or two to help support that healthy cognition if I've had a lot of brain fog after that. And then also rebuilding, I think we're actually, keep going. One more on the, all the things that you want to help to rebuild your sleep, your mitochondrial support. You want to continue using the calming oils as needed. You want to add in some bone broth, magnesium soaks, All of these are going to support the rebuilding of the system to help your tired adrenals to recover, because being sick wears out your adrenals. It's stressful. Incidentally, all of this is very good if your adrenals are just tired already. So some people already are experiencing that. And turmeric is also really, really supportive for the heart. So know that as well. I know heart instances have gone way up in the last few years where people are having issues with their heart. And so turmeric is a support to the heart.
So here we've got again the neurological symphony of the cell in your little keychain that you've made. This can be something that you continue to use if you're still feeling brain foggy, if you have any kind of injury to the brain that causes neurological damage. So keep that in mind. So basically, we're going to be looking at the same kinds of things that we were doing in phase 1. We're just kind of going through the same idea to know where our numbers are and to resuming exercise again so that you can start movement again and being able to heal. This is a wonderful set. If you would love yoga, this is a yoga collection of oils, Anchor, Arise, and Align. Just yummy and awesome for different phases in your yoga practice. So you want to really start looking at returning and revisiting some of the cool things that you were doing before, because you are now in the rebuild stage and you're going to get back to phase 1, and we're going to stay there hopefully for a very long time.
Right? You just want to continue with those healthy habits. Another great thing about the meditation baths and soaks is this is a great time also if you've just come out of something like that, or even if you haven't and you're just like, you know what, I just want to, it's a good time of year to do this. Start to notice things that are stressful to you and then begin to make changes or eliminate them from your life. I know this sounds nearly impossible, but as you find the stillness, ideas and possibilities will start to come to you. You are a powerful creator and you can create the life that you're seeking. Some of the suggestions here: Epsom salts, magnesium soaks, essential oils, all of these can be really supportive in restoring the adrenals and other organs. And take the time and space to meditate, bathe, or even just soak your feet at the end of the day in warm water with the Epsom salts. Use that meditation app we talked about if you're not really skilled yet at that, or even just do the deep breathing. And keep in mind that when you do the deep breathing, if you will breathe out for longer than you breathe in, it actually helps to relieve stress and helps to release some of those negative toxins that are in your body. So if you're going to do box breathing, where you do like four counts in and 4 counts out, instead of doing a box, do it with 4 counts in and then maybe do 6 counts or 7 or 8 counts out to help you to release some of that stuff. And don't worry about picking everything and doing every single thing. Just pick one. Don't worry about if you pick the right one, right? Just you trust that what you've chosen is going to be good enough and it's going to be good for today. One of my favorite affirmations that one of my mentors gave me years ago was, I do my best and I trust that it's good enough.
I love that. I do my best and I trust that it's good enough. I love that. So trust yourself when you go to using oil, when you go to taking care of yourself. I love to just be, I wouldn't label myself as super intuitive. I'm kind of like, give me the facts and just the facts. But I love to just go, what oil do I want right now? And being able to pick that. So that's part of that trust. Trust that it's good enough.
Yep. Love that.
All of this goodness is at this website address, rescueme.brendapetru.com. So it's instructions on how to put together your own Rescue Me kit and all the references and resources that were mentioned during this presentation. So that's basically what you need to know. So write that down, and I will be sending an email out as well, and you'll have this as your resource. But this, I have to tell you, building that Rescue Me kit was the best thing ever. And after having been sick over Christmas, it's time to restock it. So that's what I've been doing with my orders the next 2 months, is getting everything back into the box so it's ready. And in the meantime, I'm preparing to be healthy.
I love it.
And we just want to stop the share now and just see if you guys have any questions about we've fire hosed you.
This one is a big one for sure.